The moral story is about a big brother. Abdullah had loving parents and a younger sister, Abir. But he always felt that his parents loved Abir more than him. It was Abir's first day at school, and their mother asked Abdullah to carry a bag as it was quite heavy. But this made Abdullah very angry. Abdullah looked in a bad mood when he came back from school, and he complained to his parents, "Both of you love Abir more than me." Mr. Shoaib, Abdullah's father, replied politely, "Abir is younger, so she needs more care. But we love you both equally. In fact, we need your help to take care of her as an elder brother." Abdullah realized his mistake and promised his parents that from now on he will always take care of his younger sister and will not get jealous of her. The moral of the story is never get jealous of your brothers or sisters. Until next story, take care and bye-bye. Hello children. Today the moral story is about elephant and friends. A lone elephant walked through the forest looking for friends. She soon saw a monkey and proceeded to ask, "Can we be the friends, monkey?" The monkey quickly replied, "You are big and can't swing on trees like I do, so I cannot be your friend." Defeated, the elephant continued to search when it stumbled across a rabbit. She proceeded to ask him, "Can we be the friends, rabbit?" The rabbit looked at the elephant and replied, "You are too big to fit inside my burrow. You cannot be my friend." Then the elephant continued until she met a frog. She asked, "Will you be my friend, frog?" The frog replied, "You are too big and heavy. You cannot jump like me. I am sorry, but you can't be my friend." The elephant continued to ask animals she met on her way, but always received the same reply. The following day, the elephant saw all the forest animals run in fear. She stopped a bear to ask what was happening and was told the tiger was attacking all the small animals. The elephant wanted to save the other animals, so she went to the tiger and said, "Please sir, leave my friends alone. Do not eat them." The tiger didn't listen. He merely told the elephant to mind her own business. Seeing no other way, the elephant kicked the tiger and scared him away. Upon hearing of the brave tale, the other animals agreed, "You are just the right size to be our friend." The moral of the story is friends come in every shape and size. So the children, until next video, take care and bye-bye. Today the moral story is about having a best friend. A story tells that two friends were walking through the desert. During some point of the journey, they had an argument, and one friend slapped the other one in the face. The one who got slapped was hurt, but without saying anything, wrote in the sand, "Today my best friend slapped me in the face." They kept on walking until they found an oasis, where they decided to take a bath. The one who had been slapped got stuck in the mire and started drowning, but the friend saved him. After he recovered from the near drowning, he wrote on a stone, "Today my best friend saved my life." The friend who had slept and saved his best friend asked him, "After I heard you, you wrote in the sand and now you write on a stone. Why?" The other friend replied, "When someone hurts us, we should write it down in sand where winds of forgiveness can erase it away. But when someone does something good for us, we must engrave it in stone where no one can never erase it." The moral of the story is don't value the things you have in your life, but value who you have in your life. Until next story, take care and bye bye. The moral story is about the cap seller and the monkeys. So let's get started. There was a cap seller. He used to make and sell caps to neighboring villages and market. One day he packed all his caps in a basket and set afoot on his journey. It was a hot day. He got tired of walking and decided to rest under a big tree. Since he was tired, he fell asleep. After some time, he woke up. He was shocked to see his basket empty. The caps were missing. He started looking everywhere when he suddenly spotted a monkey wearing a cap. He looked up to the tree and saw many monkeys wearing his cap. He now understood everything. When he was sleeping, several monkeys came down the tree and pulled the cap seller's basket. They picked up the caps and climbed back up the trees. The cap seller became very upset. He shouted at the monkeys on the tree. The monkeys yelled back at him. The cap seller was irritated. He picked up few stones from the ground and threw them at the monkeys to scare them. But the monkeys started pelting stones in return too. The cap seller was frustrated now. He started crying. The monkeys started crying too. Now he realized that the monkeys were imitating him. He thought of an idea and threw his cap on the ground. Seeing this, all the monkeys copied his action and did exactly the same. The cap seller quickly collected his cap in the basket and ran away. The moral of the story is wisdom is powerful than strength. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Hello children. Today's moral story is about the fox and the grapes. One day a fox became very hungry. As he went to search for some food, he searched high and low, but couldn't find something that he could eat. Finally, as his stomach rumbled, he stumbled upon a farmer's wall. At the top of the wall, he saw the biggest, juiciest grapes he had ever seen. They had a rich purple color, telling the fox they were ready to be eaten. To reach the grapes, the fox had to jump high in the air. As he jumped, he opened his mouth to catch the grapes, but he missed. The fox tried again, but missed yet again. He tried a few more times, but kept failing. Finally, the fox decided it was a time to give up and go home. While he walked away, he muttered, "I am sure the grapes were sour anyway." The moral of the story is never despite what we can't have, nothing comes easy. So children, until next video, take care and bye bye. Today, the moral story is about the oak tree and the reeds. An oak tree stood tall and straight near the bank of a river and close to some reeds. It was a huge tree with a huge trunk and hundreds of big and strong branches. The oak tree was so proud that he used to boast openly about his strength. I am so strong and mighty. Nothing can uproot me. Nothing can destroy me, said the oak tree proudly. Listening to what the oak tree was saying, the reeds couldn't resist but say, "Oh, mighty oak tree, don't be so proud of your strength. Nothing in this world is immortal. Being modest is the key." Ha ha ha! You little feeble reeds, what do you know about the strength and being the strongest tree in the jungle? Laughed the oak tree. Making fun of those reeds, the oak tree stood there with pride when suddenly the wind started to blow. The reeds bowed their heads as the wind started getting stronger. Watching this, the oak tree said, "You are so polite and weak that slightest of wind make you bow your heads. How would you survive the strongest of storms? Ha ha ha!" Soon the winds turned into hurricane. The oak tree standing straight with pride continued to laugh at the reeds. "Oh tree, you might be big and strong, but you need not to worry about us. We will bow our heads in this powerful hurricane and survive it. If you will continue standing straight, you will not be able to survive in these strong winds and break in no time," said the wise reeds. "No, nothing can uproot me. I am the strongest and will continue to stand tall and never bow down no matter what," said the arrogant tree. The winds got more furious and soon the hurricane took its peak. The little reeds kept their heads bowed and started swinging in the rhythm of the wind, preventing themselves from getting uprooted. But the oak tree, which stood straight and tried fighting the hurricane wind, soon broke down and fell in the river. "No, this is not possible," cried the tree. "See, we told you, you'll just learn a lesson. Better to yield when it is foolish to resist, than to resist stubbornly and be destroyed." The oak tree went drifting in the water, crying over his own false pride. The moral of the story is, never be so proud of yourself. One should always remain humble, or else one has to suffer. Until next story, take care and bye bye.
Hello kids. Today the moral story is about the boy who cried wolf. Once there was a boy who became bored when he watched over the village sheep grazing on the hillside. To entertain himself, he sang out, "Wolf, wolf, the wolf is chasing the sheep." When the villagers heard the cry, they came running up the hill to drive the wolf away. But when they arrived, they saw no wolf. The boy was amused when seeing their angry faces. "Don't scream wolf, boy," warned the villagers. When there is no wolf, they angrily went back down the hill. Later, the shepherd boy cried out once again, "Wolf, wolf, the wolf is chasing the sheep." To his amusement, he looked on as the villagers came running up the hill to scare the wolf away. As they saw there was no wolf, they said strictly, "Save your frightened cry for when there really is a wolf. Don't cry wolf when there is no wolf." But the boy grinned at their words while they walked grumbling down the hill once more. Later, the boy saw a real wolf sneaking around his flock. Alarmed, he jumped on his feet and cried out as loud as he could, "Wolf! Wolf!" But the villagers thought he was fooling them again, and so they didn't come to help. At sunset, the villagers went looking for the boy, who had not returned with their sheep. When they went up the hill, they found him weeping. "There really was a wolf here. The flock is gone. I cried out, 'Wolf,' but you didn't come," he wailed. An old man went to comfort the boy as he put his arm around him. He said, "Nobody believes a liar, even when he is telling the truth." The moral of this story is lying breaks trust. Even if you're telling the truth, no one believes a liar. So children, until next video, take care and bye bye.
Hello, children. The moral story is about the angry boy. Once there was a young boy. This boy had problems controlling his anger. When he got angry, he would say the first thing that came to mind, even if it affected people. One day, his father gifted him a hammer and a bundle of nails, then said, "Whenever you get mad, hammer a nail into the backyard fence." In the first days, the boy used up half of the nails. Over the next weeks, he used up fewer nails until his temper was under control. Then his father asked the young boy to remove a nail for each day. He didn't lose his temper. On the day when the boy removed his last nail, his father told him, "You have done good, boy." But can't you see the holes in the wall? The fence is never going to be the same. Likewise, when you say mean things in anger, you will leave a scar. The moral of the story is anger is like a knife, one of the most dangerous weapons. When you use it, the wounds will heal, but the scars remain. So the children, until next video, take care and bye bye.
The moral story is about the ant and the grasshopper. In a field one summer's day, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing to its heart's content. An ant passed by, bearing along with the great effort and air of corn he was taking to the nest. "Why not come and chat with me?" said the grasshopper. "Instead of toiling and moiling away, I am helping to lay up food for winter, and recommend you to do the same," said the ant. "Why bother about winter? We have got plenty of food at present," said the grasshopper. But the ant went on its way and continued its toil. When the winter came, the grasshopper found itself dying in hunger. While it saw the ants distributing every day corn and grain from the stores they had collected in the summer. The moral of the story is work today and you can reap the benefits tomorrow. Until next story, take care and bye bye.
Today, the moral story is about the dog at the well. A mother dog and her pups lived on a farm. On the farm, there was a well. The mother dog always told her pups never to go near or play around it. One day, one of the pups was overcome by curiosity and wondered why they weren't allowed to go near the well. So he decided he wanted to explore it.
He went down to the well and climbed up the wall to peek inside. In the well, he saw his reflection in the water, but thought it was another dog. The little pup got angry when his reflection was imitating him, so he decided to fight it. The little pup jumped into the well, only to find there was no dog. He began to bark and bark. He was barking until the farmer came to rescue him. The pup had learned his lesson and never went back to the well again. The moral of the story is always listen to what elders say and don't defy them. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Hello kids. Today the moral story is about the farmer and the well. One day a farmer was looking for a water source for his farm when he bought a well from his neighbor. The neighbor, however, was cunning. The next day, as the farmer came to draw water from his well, the neighbor refused to let him take any water. When the farmer asked why, the neighbor replied, "I sold you the well, not the water," and walked away. Distraught, the farmer went to the emperor to ask for justice. He explained what had happened. The emperor called on Birbal, one of his 9 and wisest courtiers. Birbal proceeded to question the neighbor. "Why don't you let the farmer take any water from the well? You did sell the well to the farmer." The neighbor replied, "Birbal, I did sell the well to the farmer, but not the water within it. He has no right to draw water from the well." Birbal said, "Look, since you sold the well, you have no right to keep the water in the farmer's well. Either you pay rent to the farmer or take it out immediately." Realizing that his scheme had failed, the neighbor apologized and went home. The moral of the story is cheating will not get you anything. If you cheat, you will pay soon enough. So the children, until next video, take care and bye bye. Today the moral story is about the foolish donkey. A salt seller used to carry the salt bag on his donkey to the market every day. On the way, they had to cross a stream. One day, the donkey suddenly tumbled down the stream, and the salt bag also fell into the water. The salt dissolved in the water, and hence the bag became very light to carry. The donkey was happy. Then the donkey started to play the same trick every day. The salt seller came to understand the trick and decided to teach a lesson to it. The next day he loaded a cotton bag on the donkey. Again it played the same trick, hoping that the cotton bag would still become lighter. But the dampened cotton became very heavy to carry and the donkey suffered. It learned a lesson. It didn't play the trick anymore. After that day, the seller was happy. The moral of the story is luck won't favor always. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Today, the moral story is about the goose with the golden eggs. Once upon a time, a man and his wife had the good fortune to have a goose which laid a golden egg every day. Lucky though they were, they soon began to think they were not getting rich fast enough and imagining the bird must be made of gold inside. They decided to kill it in order to secure the whole store of precious metal at once. But when they cut it open, they found it was just like any other goose. Thus, they neither got rich all at once as they had hoped, nor enjoyed any longer the daily addition to their wealth. The moral of the story is think before you act. Until next story, take care and bye bye.
The moral story is about the lion and the cows. Once upon a time, there lived 4 cows in the forest. Every day they used to graze together in the particular spot. They were all friends. One day a lion saw the cows graze together. The lion wanted to eat them, so he went to catch them. When the cows saw the lion, all of them fought with him. The lion had to run away. A few days passed and the cows quarreled between themselves and started grazing separately. One by one, lion killed and ate all of them. The moral of the story is unity is strength. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Hello kids. Today the moral story is about the lion and the mouse. A lion was sleeping in a jungle. A mouse started playing on it. The lion was disturbed and woke up quite angrily. He was about to eat the mouse. The mouse requested the lion to leave him free and assured that he would help him when it needed. The lion laughed at it and let him off. One day, a few hunters came into the jungle and took the lion with them. They tied him against the tree. The lion was struggling to get out and started to roar. The mouse heard the lion's roaring and came there. The mouse started cutting the rope with its teeth. The lion escaped and thanked the mouse. The moral of the story is a small act of kindness can go a long way. So children, until next story, take care and bye bye. Today the moral story is about the man and the lion. A lion and a man chanced to travel in a company through the forest. They soon began to quarrel, for each of them boasted that he and his kind were far superior to the other both in strength and mind. Now they reached a clearing in the forest and there stood a statue. It was a representation of Hercules in the act of tearing the jaws of the Nemean lion. "See," said the man, "that's how strong we are. The king of beasts is like wax in our hands." "Ho!" laughed the lion. A man made the statue. It would have been quite a different scene had a lion made it. The moral of the story is it all depends on the point of view and who tells the story.
Always trust your own wit and try judge the circumstances. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Hello, children. The story is about the milkmaid and her pail. One day, Molly the milkmaid had filled her pails with milk. Her job was to milk the cows and then bring the milk to the market to sell. Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. As she filled the pails with milk and went to market, she again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. As she walked along the road, she thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. A little further down the road, she spotted a chicken. She thought, with the money I get from today, I'm going to buy a chicken of my own. That chicken will lay eggs. Then I will be able to sell milk and eggs and get more money. She continued, with more money, I will be able to buy a fancy dress and make all the other milkmaids jealous. Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, forgetting about the milk in her pail. Soon, the milk started spilling over the edges, covering Molly. Drenched, Molly said to herself, Oh no, I will never have enough money to buy a chicken now. She went home with her empty pails. Oh my goodness, what happened to you? Molly's mother asked. I was too busy dreaming about all the things I wanted to buy that I forgot about the pails, she answered. Oh Molly, my dear, how many times do I need to say, don't count your chickens until they hatch? Children, the moral of the story is don't count your chickens before they hatch. Until next video, take care and bye bye. The story is about the needle tree. So let's get started. There were once two brothers who lived on the edge of a forest. The elder brother was very mean to his younger brother and ate up all the food and took all his good clothes. One day, the elder brother went into the forest to find some firewood to sell in the market. As he went around chopping the branches of a tree after tree, he came upon a magical tree. The tree said to him, Oh, kind sir, please do not cut my branches. If you spare me, I will give you my golden apples. The elder brother agreed but was disappointed with the number of apples the tree gave him. Greed overcame him. He threatened to cut the entire trunk if the tree didn't give him more apples. The magical tree instead showered upon the elder brother hundreds upon hundreds of tiny needles. The elder brother lay on the ground, crying in pain as the sun began to lower down the horizon. The younger brother grew worried and went in search of his elder brother. He found him with hundreds of needles on his skin. He rushed to his brother and removed each needle with painstaking love. After he finished, the elder brother apologized for treating him badly and promised to be better. The tree saw the change in the elder brother's heart. Then the tree gave them all the golden apples they could ever need. The moral of the story is it is important to be kind and gracious as it will always be rewarded. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Story is about the pigeon and the ant. Long ago, A pigeon flew down to drink water from a river. While drinking, she noticed an ant flowing away with the water. She thought of helping the ant. She looked around and plucked some leaves from the tree. She then flew over the river and dropped it into the water near the struggling ant. The ant quickly climbed over the leaf and reached the shore safely. The ant was grateful to the bird and thanked her. The pigeon smiled and said that it was her duty to help someone in need. She then flew away. A few days later, a hunter came to the jungle. He was aiming at a pigeon that sat on a nearby tree. The ant was walking through the forest when she noticed the hunter with a gun. She immediately recognized the pigeon who had saved her life. She decided to return the favor by helping the bird. She crept into the hunter's trouser and bit him hard. The hunter fired the shot but missed his target because of the ant bite. The pigeon heard the gunshot and was alarmed. She flew away. The ant too quickly jumped off the hunter's leg and fled into the forest. The hunter sat there upset and saw the pigeon flying away. The moral of the story is we should always help others selflessly. Until next story, take care and bye-bye.
The moral story is about the potato, the egg, and the coffee beans. A boy named John was upset. His father found him crying. When his father asked John why he was crying, he said he had a lot of problems in his life. His father simply smiled and asked him to get a potato, an egg, and some coffee beans. He placed them in 3 bowls. He then asked John to feel their texture and then fill each bowl with water. John did as he had been told. His father then boiled all 3 bowls. Once the bowls has cooled down, John's father asked him to feel the texture of the different food items again. John noticed that the potato had become soft and its skin was peeling off easily. The egg had become harder and tougher. The coffee beans had completely changed and filled the bowl of water with aroma and flavor. The moral of the story is life will always have problems and pressures, like the boiling water in the story. It's how you respond and react to these problems that counts the most. Until next story, take care and bye-bye. Today, the moral story is about the rabbit and the turtle. One day, a rabbit was boasting about how fast he could run. He was laughing at the turtle for being so slow. Much to the rabbit's surprise, the turtle challenged him to a race. The rabbit thought this was a good joke and accepted the challenge. The fox was to be the umpire of the race. As the race began, the rabbit raced way ahead of the turtle, just like everyone thought. The rabbit got to the halfway point and could not see the turtle anywhere. He was hot and tired and decided to stop and take a short nap. Even if the turtle passed him, he would be able to race to the finish line ahead of him. All this time, the turtle kept walking, step by step. He never quit. No matter how hot or tired he got, he just kept going. However, the rabbit slept longer than he had thought and woke up. He could not see the turtle anywhere. He went at full speed to the finish line, but found the turtle there waiting for him. The moral of the story is never underestimate the weakest opponent. Slow and steady wins the race. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Hello children. Today the moral story is about the proud rose. Once upon a time in a desert far away, there was a rose who was so proud of her beautiful looks. Her only complaint was growing next to an ugly cactus. Every day the beautiful rose would insult and mock the cactus on his looks, all while the cactus remained quiet. All the other plants nearby tried to make the rose see sense, but she was too swayed by her own looks. One scorching summer, the desert became dry and there was no water left for the plants. The rose quickly began to wilt. Her beautiful petals dried up, losing their lush color. Looking to the cactus, she saw a sparrow dip his beak into the cactus to drink some water. Though ashamed, the rose asked the cactus if she could have some water. The kind cactus rightly agreed, helping them both through the tough summer as friends. The moral of the story is never judge anyone by the way they look. So the children, until next video, take care and bye bye. The moral story is about the thirsty crow. There was a crow which was very thirsty. He searched for water everywhere. At last he saw a water bottle near a well. He looked inside. There was a little water inside the bottle. The crow saw a stone nearby. He thought of a plan. He picked up some stones. He put one by one into the bottle. The water level in the bottle came up. The hard work of the crows had paid off. The crow drank the water and flew away happily. The moral of the story is no matter how difficult the time is, one must work patiently and use wisdom to overcome that difficulty. It is possible to solve every problem with patience and intelligence. Until next video, take care and bye bye. Today the moral story is about the two pots. It was a cyclonic season. There was flood everywhere. Many houses drowned in the flood. There was a copper pot and a clay pot in a house. Both these were washed away in the flood to a river. The copper pot called the clay pot and said, "My friend, you are made of mud. You are so weak. Please come near me. I will save you." The clay pot replied, "Thank you for your kindness, my friend, but let me swim to the bank by myself." The clay pot began to swim towards the bank of the river. As the copper pot tried to swim, water got filled into the pot and the copper pot drowned. But clay pot reached the bank. The moral of the story is weakness is not in appearance. Until next story, take care and bye bye. The moral story is about the wise man. People have been coming to the wise man complaining about the same problems every time. One day he told them a joke and everyone roared in laughter. After a couple of minutes he told them the same joke and only a few of them smiled.
When he told the same joke for the third time, no one laughed anymore. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over. So why are you always crying about the same problem?" The moral of the story is worrying won't solve your problems. It will just waste your time and energy. Until next story, take care and bye bye. Hello children. Today the moral story is about a wise old owl. There was an old owl who lived in an oak tree. Every day he observed incidents that occurred around him. Yesterday he watched as a young boy helped an old man carry a heavy basket. Today he saw a young girl shouting at her mother. The more he saw, the less he spoke. As the days went on, he spoke less but heard more. The old owl heard people talking and telling stories. He heard a woman saying an elephant jumped over a fence. He heard a man saying he had never made a mistake. The old owl had seen and heard what happened to people. There were some who became better, some who became worse. But the old owl in the tree had become wiser each and every day. The moral is be more observant, talk less and listen more. This will make us wise. So children, until next video, take care and bye bye. The moral story is about the wolf and the sheep. A wolf had gotten seriously hurt during a fight with a bear. He wasn't able to move and so could not satisfy his thirst or hunger. One day, a sheep passed by his hiding place, and so the wolf decided to call out to him. "Please fetch me some water," said the wolf. "That might give me some strength to get some solid food." "Solid food?" the sheep said. "I suppose that means me. If I brought you something to drink, it would merely be to wash me down. Don't speak to me about fetching a drink." The moral of the story is a person's ulterior motives are easy to spot if someone is paying attention. Until next story, take care and bye bye. The moral story is about the wolf in sheep's clothing. Night after night, a wolf prowled around a flock of sheep looking for one to eat. But the shepherd and his dog always chased the wolf away. But one day the wolf found the skin of a sheep that had been thrown aside. He pulled the skin carefully over him so that none of his fur showed under the white fleece. Then he strolled among the flock. A lamb, thinking that the wolf was its mother, followed him into the wood, and there the wolf made a meal of the lamb. So for many days the wolf was able to get a sheep whenever he pleased, but one day the shepherd decided to cook lamb for his own dinner. He chose the biggest, fattest sheep he could find and killed it on the spot. Guess who it was? The wolf. The moral of the story is things are not always what they appear to be. If you pretend to be what you are not, you might get caught.
Until next story, take care and bye bye.